Ian, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Last night, another good outing for you. 6 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, couple walks, 7 strikeouts. As far as your comfort level coming over here to Kansas City, what's it been early on for you?
These guys make it really comfortable. Great coaching staff, but the players are all really close knit and tight players, and they made it really comfortable for me to come over here and kind of join this culture that they've created.
Well, you're back in the American League, first time in about 7 years, I think. What's it been like in terms of your routine, knowing that there's not a spot in the lineup for you?
Yeah, right. It's good in some points, and then I kind of like the distraction of hitting, but it's made me just focus on pitching a little bit. Not run. I didn't have to run bases too often as a National League hitter anyway. So it's kind of the same thing. Sit around, don't have to worry about when I'm up and on deck and stuff like that. But it's fun.
Hey, Ian, when you're going through the free agent process like you went through in the offseason, what are the factors that you look at when trying to figure out what team you want to sign with?
Yeah, it's a lot of times, you watch a lot of teams that potentially have to win and, have that team chemistry that I really wanted to be part of. I haven't had that the last couple of years, and I remember 2011 for me was probably the most fun I've had playing baseball. And hopefully you have one of those teams that are really interested in you. So luckily Dayton and everybody in the staff kind of was really interested early on, and it was fun watching these guys in the playoffs and the last couple of years, and it was kind of an easy thing for me to do. Luckily like I said, Dayton and staff wanted me over here.
Well, Ian, when you signed here, the first thing I thought about was you as a fly ball pitcher in this ballpark with this outfield defense behind you. You just got a chance to see, not that you didn't know it already, Alex Gordon showing off his arm right there. How much did that factor into your decision, the fit of the ballpark and the defense?
Well, that's one of the things you see. Guys are playing in the playoffs every single year, or playing deep in the playoffs. They always have, all of them have good defenses, and you don't get that far not having that. And coming over here, I talked to Dayton right away, and he said, I think ballpark set aside, these guys are fast. They cover ground. They've made some unbelievable plays behind me, and you don't realize it until you pitch in front of them. And Eski, I forget how good he was. I got to see him night in, night out, and Eski made some unbelievable plays while I'm on the mound. And when I remember the first couple games I was watching, I watched Locane run some balls down. I watched, I don't know who was playing right, but it's unbelievable watching these guys throw guys out. And, Gordo and left he's something special when you look out there and look at the arm.
Kenji's Morales at the plate, swings the first pitch, 0-1 after a leadoff walk to Eric Hosmer. A good at bat by Hosmer. We're talking with Ian Kennedy of the Royals here, bottom half of the third, 1-0, Kansas City on top. Ian, one thing that I think anybody who watches you, when you go to the stretch and you go down low, a la Mike Mussina, who was your teammate with the Yankees when you came up, as a fan, wanting to know, why do you do that? How did you start doing it?
I started doing it in college when I had a hard time going from my changeup to my curveball grip, and I was kind of Mike Mussina-esque. I wasn't really trying to do that. I did watch Mussina a lot, but I was joking around in the outfield and like, hey, I can get my curveball out of this, and I was just messing around with it. And I remember in 2008 where they asked me not to be so much like Mussina and maybe save my back a little bit and just kind of come together. And it gave me time to get to my grip, because I start with my changeup grip, which makes it a little more difficult to get to on other pitches. But yeah, that was pretty much my only reasoning. I was messing around in college trying to find some way to get a curveball grip with my knuckle curve.
Well, it seems to have worked out pretty well for you.
Oh, thank you. 1
ball, 2 strikes here to Morales. He singled his first time up and pulls this one foul. Ian, as a pitcher, you see what your team has done in the first 2 innings. Left the base loaded in the first, a double play with a base load in the second. You see you guys are right on the cusp of breaking the game open. How does the dugout keep their mood high, and how do you as a pitcher be like, man, I could have had a big lead right now, not get down on yourself?
Sitting here watching the game, I was talking to Gore, and it's a lot of wear and tear on the opposing pitcher. You can throw those stressful pitches, and
In the air, center field. Collins going back. He's got room, make the catch on the warning track. And here's Hosmer with that aggressive base running, tagging up and taking second.
Yeah, just great base running right there. Got his initial read, saw how far the ball was carrying, ran back, tagged. One of the most athletic first basemen you'll find. I think he's one of the best base runners, period, regardless of position.
In any case, Ian, you were saying?
I was saying, like, you know, Pelf's got to throw, I don't know how many pitches he has right now, but 60 pitches, and it's the third inning. It's those are stressful pitches when you got the bases loaded. And they got a great shortstop, Iglesias, so he's kind of saved him a little bit, and we've kind of hit into it right at him. But, you know, it's definitely a lot of wear and tear, and a lot of stressful pitches. And our lineup is it's a tough lineup to get around, kind of like theirs. You got to navigate through it.
Alex Gordon now steps in. Gordon walked his first time up, and also he helped out defensively in that last inning. A couple of fly balls to him, and then the assist to third to end the inning. Alex Gordon, 245, a home run, 4 RBIs. Again, we are speaking with Ian Kennedy last night, 6 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. And we put up a graphic just before. Of your 21 strikeouts this year, 17 have come via the fastball.
I didn't know that.
I want to know. Well, I want to know about this because your fastball velocity is now about major league average, about 92, and you throw it up in the zone and you get swings and misses. Where's the magic behind that?
You know, I wish I knew. I've always, even though I started throwing harder as I got older. I don't know what it is. Maybe my dad's strength came in, and after I had my 3rd and 4th kid, it took 3 or 4 kids to come about. But you know, just you know, when you're throwing the ball down, it helps. When the fastball is locating, it allows you to throw other things like your changeup down there. And I don't know. I just throw the 4-seam fastball, try to throw it with conviction, and hope for the best sometimes.
So far, so good. Again, 17 of those 21 strikeouts have come on the fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Gordon. And that pitch misses outside. Now 3-1 to Alex Gordon. Again, another inning with a runner in scoring position here for the Royals. Hosmer at second, 1 out. Gordon at the plate. Good hitters count, 3-1. Alex Gordon had a home run last night in the 9th inning. 3-1 taken for a strike, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Ian, I wanted to ask you about another pitch you have, the changeup. And we're watching Edison Volquez tonight, who's just fearless with that changeup, the right-on-right changeup. You do that as well. What's the key to executing that pitch that a lot of right-handed pitchers will stay away from against right-handed hitters?
Yeah, I started throwing that in pro ball. Gil Patterson was one of the ones with the Yankees, and he was kind of helped me out as I signed. And he asked me if I ever thrown a changeup to a righty. And back in college, he didn't do that. And you know, I started doing it. And if you execute it right, if it's right, it's a foul ball if they make contact. If not, you know, it's a swing and miss. And it looks just like all the good hitters have a hard time recognizing the changeup, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. And I think just try to. The most emphasis you put on it, try to make it look just like a fastball. And Volke's got one of the better ones I've ever seen. I played catch with him in the past, but I forgot how good it was when I played catch with him in spring training. It has so much depth to it, and that's what makes it so good. You have a changeup that has a lot of side-to-side movement, but you want the depth more than anything.
Salvador Perez steps in, 0 for 1, ground out to second. 2 outs now after the strikeout. And Perez, a ground ball to third. We'll get you out on this one. You mentioned Volquez and his changeup when you came in spring training. How much do you pick up? Do you tinker with grips when you come over and you talk to a guy like Volquez who's got a changeup that's so good?
I've gotten to the point now where I've been true to myself and kind of to be a good self-evaluator and not try to reinvent myself. I'll ask him how he's doing. He's got such big hands that he just kind of, it rolls off his hands. They're really flexible. So I watched him throw it. You can see how he pronates it, and it gets a great amount of depth.
Well, Ian, we appreciate you taking the time to join us. Congratulations on the good start, and keep it up.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Ian Kennedy joining us here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Signed a 5-year contract here with the Royals in the offseason.